Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another workout. Today we're going to be working our upper body. I've not quite got the pump yet, but I made sure to wear a top that I was going to be able to see my pump afterwards. So we should get a good pump going in our upper body, which is good. Um, Honestly, after I work out my upper body and like get a nice pump on, the amount of times I spend in the mirror, just like it's crazy. Like I'm like, oh, can I do this stuff? So you get to enjoy that today as well. Don't be discouraged when you always look at, on the right side, you see the progress, you like feel the progress, you're like, okay, yeah, this is better than it was before, like it wasn't the first day that I started working on my arms that I started feeling it was like progressively, right? So we're going to do 2 circuits today. So we're going to do 2 rounds of the first circuit, 2 rounds of the second circuit, and a water break in between. So we're going to jump in and get started with a nice little warm up. So because we're mainly going to be working out our upper body, we're really going to need to focus on that as we warm up. So of course, we like our arm swings to begin with. And so that's what we're going to start with. And it's perfect because today we're actually working out our upper body. So once we do this, we'll do this for a little while. And then we're going to switch into some arm swings. So we're going to go around. If you can't get that full range of motion just yet, ease into it. Do it slowly. That's the whole point of a warm up, is to build yourself into the range of motion that you're able to do. Oh, I can feel it already, just getting started. Everything is just activating, loosening up. It's good. It's good. We're getting ready to go for this, and then we're going to reverse it back. I totally forgot to tell you what we need today. So we're going to use some upper body. We're going to use some body weight, and then we're also going to be using some weights if you have them. So I've got 2 dumbbells set up, and also some weights that I am just going to use as well. So we're going to do some front raises with your arms. And I also have some resistance bands to show you those alternatives. Resistance bands are a nice option if you're not ready to invest in weights. Weights are a lot both heavier and like take up a lot of space. And then also, we're going to take it to the side. And then they're also very expensive in comparison to resistance bands, which you can grab for a couple of dollars. Like at the store. I've got one there that I think I paid about $3 for. It's like really cheap. So that's a nice way to start. And you can usually make an adjustment in a lot of the exercises to be able to work with just a resistance band, if that's what you have available to you. It's better than just doing body weight only. There are some limitations to it in that, like, the range of motion is limited. We're going to do some twists. So twist it up. And so the hardest part of the exercise, which should be either extreme of that range of motion, it's usually when it's like the least resistance on the band, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. It is what it is, for sure. So after this one, we're going to do some inch ones. Did these a few times last week, so you should, or last week or last session. So you should have a good feeling of these ones. So we're just going to walk out. If you can't go straight from like straight leg, just bend it down as far as you need to before stretching it out and walking it out. And then just bring it up, do the same again. And on the third one, we're going to keep it out, and we're going to do our world's greatest stretch. So on this third one, let's walk it out. And then, which leg am I putting up? That leg. There we go. Like, how do I do that so I face the camera first? I have to check. So you should open up your chest open up your legs a little bit and your hips, but that's not really the focus for today. More just activating our chest and everything. So bring it back up, take it back down and do the other side. And this one is where you can't see my face, but that's okay. You get a break from seeing my face. Isn't that nice? So after this, we're gonna bring it back up and then bring it down one more time to do just a few push-ups. So remember the alternatives that I gave the other week? You can do it on a bench. You can do it against a bench or a chair if you need an elevation. Or you can do it on your knees, or you can do it fully out. I'm going to do it onto my knees first, just to get us started. Okay, so I'm going to start on my knees. So I'm just going to walk it down, bring it down onto my knees, and then let's just do a few push-ups. I'm just going to start off with 5, just to activate all of our muscles. So our body is ready to start these movements. And I can't remember if that was 4 or 5, so we're just going to do an extra one. Okay, wonderful. Bring it back, stretch it, and then we can stand up. We're going to get ready for our first circuit. So if you have a workout mat, that would be great. This one is going to be pike push-up. So it's going to be on the mat. Tricep kick back, which I'm going to personally use these weights. So these are just 2.5 kilos each. I'm going to use them. Or I'm also going to show you in the second round how I can use the resistance band for them. So I'll use one of these resistance bands. I have 2 options here, so that I can show you whatever you may have. And then we're going to do bent over flies. I'm going to use the same, whatever I'm using for tricep kickbacks, I'm going to use for the flies as well. And then tricep dips. So you're going to go grab a chair or a bench. And we're going to do that twice round. So let's get cracking with that. I'm just going to set up the timer and we're going to get good to go. Okay, so let's get started on the mat, pike push up. So you're going to get into a downward dog position and then you're going to push up. So this is going to help work your shoulders. Remember, this is 40 seconds on, so that's quite a long time. So if you need to take breathers, then that's totally fine. Just get started back into it as and when you can. If you need to do this on your knees, you can. Just make sure you're focusing on that shoulder being the one that's being worked. So you see how I'm rocking into it like that. Oh man. Okay, let's get a break. Then we're going to do our tricep kickbacks. So I'm going to show you with my weights first. So I just hold it, just shove my fingers in the hole, and then we go back. So you can do it on a slight angle so you can see how I'm going to do it. So you just squat down a little bit, bend down, and then kick it back. So it's good to hold your core engaged in this, making sure your shoulders are down and away from you. Your core is engaged, so your belly button is towards your spine. It's nice and long. Oh, this is good. It's hot in this room today because I'm doing it a little bit later than you would be watching, which is like 7:30 a.m. So it's a lot colder, but currently it is quite warm. Okay, so we're gonna do bent over flies. I'm gonna keep these ones, just gonna pop them down for a second to give my hands a rest. Stretch out your little fingers. It's all good. Whew. Feeling good, feeling good. Let's get cracking. So bent over flies. So we're just going to be bent over, so you can see it in this angle. Same sort of position that we were with a kickback. But this one, we're going to be moving our arms up, sort of flapping them. That's why we call them the flies, you know? It's like you're flying. And this is going to help target those bingo wings. I feel like that's an English term. I don't know if anyone else, other than people in England, use that term, but there we are. What I mean by bingo wings, when you go down and there's a flappy bit there, the bingo wings, because you're like, house, you know, bingo, you know. Tricep dips, so let's get our chair out or your bench out. I'm going to slide mine over. And so just bend down. If you need it easier, bring your legs closer. If you need it harder, bring your legs all the way out. It's going to add all the body weight onto it. I'm going to go somewhere in between because it's a whole 40 seconds and I'm already feeling it. Already very much feeling it. Ooh. Remember, in every exercise, to just keep your core engaged is a really good training for just everyday life to keep your core engaged at all times. Whew. So we're going to go back to the top, so back to our pike push-up. Just going to slide these ones out of the way. So back into the downward dog position, and then we're going to push up from there. Get ourselves ready. And then push it up. I know this one looks a bit strange, but it's really good at targeting your shoulders without needing weights. So that's why I wanted to include it, so that it will give you options, you know, for if you are without weights, if you don't have any resistance bands yet, these are some things that you can be doing, you know. There are lots of options to stay fit and healthy and strong without needing all the equipment. Whew. That's why I like to give all these options just to meet you at whatever level you're at, financially, physically, whatever it may be, mentally, so that you can just try and start wherever you are. So we're going to do tricep kickbacks, and then go from there, right? And so every day you're just trying to push, you're trying to improve yourself and do better. I know that there's some of you guys that have told me that you just watch it, you've not actually participated. I want to challenge you. I have a dance one coming up soon. That might be a nice, easy entrance in. You can have a nice little dance party. I'm trying to convince my family back in England they should have a little dance party with that one, because they keep saying, "Oh, we need to join. We need to join." Okay, yeah, that's a nice one to start off with. So, that's going to be a fun one. Pop these down for a second. Also, that I was going to show you with the resistance bands. You know what? I'm going to show you on the side. I'm going to pop myself in after in the edit, so you can see that how you can do it with the resistance bands. So the flies. Just bend over. We're doing different types of flies. This one is to target your shoulders and your back. Whereas later on, we're going to do some chest flies. I think in some other ones, we do some other positions. Basically, whatever position you are, it targets slightly different muscles. So it's really good to do all these different types. I've got an upper body workout later in the month, which has got like some different types of rows, you know? Okay, so that is, oh, it's not everything. We've got one more. We've got tricep dips. So that one's got different variations on rows, and so you're going to get different muscle groups being activated in that, so that your whole arm gets toned, not just one part. So tricep dips, as I said before, give yourself the different options. It's really interesting, like watching myself back, because I really get to see all the form that I have. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that looks really weird. Like I noticed when I was doing jumping jacks that one leg likes to sort of be like sickled, like one of the feet. And so I'm like, oh, that's something that I should work on. So if you've never recorded yourself doing a workout, maybe you don't start off with it. If you know that you're going to judge yourself too hard, that you're not going to want to do anything afterwards. Whew. But if you're comfortable with looking at yourself and being like, that looks a bit weird, but we can work on it, then I would recommend it. If you're not there yet, totally save yourself. Just keep doing what you can do. So it's time for a water break. I'm going to set up my timer for the next round as well. So grab some water. I'm going to grab my water. Have a nice little drink. Try not to choke on said drink. Oh man. Whilst I tell you about what we're doing next, so we're going to be doing chest flies. So that's going to be on the floor. We're going to do that. If you do have a bench, you can use the bench for that. It will just help to give you a slightly bigger range of motion, which is good. I'm just going to do it on the floor for now. Then we're going to do bicep curls. So I'm going to show you the weights that I've chosen for them. And these ones you can totally do with resistance bands as well. So these ones, so there's 2.5, 5, and then I think the bar is like 7. I'm not really sure. So I think it's about 12 kilos. I have like a scale downstairs that I usually measure things with, but I think that's about 12 kilos each. So each side we're gonna do them at the same time. So I'm gonna do bicep curls, which is the hand facing outwards, or like you're gonna twist it down and up. And then we're also going to do hammer curls afterwards, which is like that. And then we're going to also do push-ups. So like regular push-ups, not the plank push-ups. So they are all the things that we're going to be doing. I'm going to set up my timer and we're going to get started. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to do chest flies first. So I'm going to use these smaller weights. I'm going to lay down. The sun is right in my eyes here. So you're going to just bring out the same way that we were flying before. You're going to just do the same here. So you're just bringing it out and down and making sure that your core is engaged. As always, that belly button to spine, your hips in line with your ribs. And we should feel it in your chest and also in your arms as well. So if you want to emphasize the chest a little bit more, you can basically arch that back and it should emphasize the chest a little bit more. So we're going to get up, we're going to stand up for our bicep curls. Grab your weights. We're going to do them. So one thing that I like to do with these, and let's go, is to do a slow eccentric and then a fast concentric motion. So that's the active part of the movement. You do quite powerfully and strong, and then you go slow when you're doing the opposite side. So in this case, the pull up is fast and powerful, and then the down is slow, and it's going to really target and it's going to make it work that much harder. Oh, you can do this, right? You can do hard things. Oh, so we're going to pop them down. We're going to do push-ups next. And get down onto the mat. Do our push-ups. If you need to do it against a surface, you can. So I'll just quickly show you that before so if you need to do it like this, that's totally fine. And you're gonna start off by doing this and making sure you get that full range of motion. So when you progress, you are still keeping that full range of motion. I'm going to do the rest up on my feet, hopefully. We'll see how long we last. Okay, head out. Oh, man, this is like my form for my push-ups. Okay, no, it's so much of a work in progress. We're getting there. We're really getting there. Oh, gosh. Okay, next up is the hammer curls. So we'll go back to our weights. And this time, instead of bringing it and curling it around so that our fist is facing us, instead we're going to just keep it straight, up and down. So neutral grip like this, and then just bringing it up and then slowly down. Power up and slow it down. You know, as you're going through this, you probably get to the ugly face stage. Unfortunately, you get to see mine. But hopefully no one has to see yours. I'm not saying that no one wants to see yours. It's just I know that you can become very self-conscious with the ugly face. I went to the gym with a friend and he was laughing at me for every time that my face was making funny faces. Oh gosh. Okay, we can pop that down. And we're going to move straight back into the chest flies. So I'm going to grab the other weights so we can do them. So onto the ground. And, you know, one thing that I want to talk to you about quickly is your words, right? Your words have power. I don't know if you read today's Rhapsody of Reality, which is the #1 daily devotional. It's wonderful. Every day it's got a new message, and it's been going for like 20 years or more. And it's really wonderful. So today we're talking about the power of our words, and specifically the word of God. But I want to quickly just talk about like the way that our words are, right? You know, our words have power. And until we open our mouth and we start talking, that's an empty tool that we haven't yet unleashed. So when you're doing these things, if you are having a challenge, use your words to your advantage. You can use it both to your advantage or your disadvantage. So next up, we're going to do our bicep curls. So this is the twisty one. And so the way you can use it to your disadvantage is if you're getting to the end of a rep and you say, I can't do this. You're like, I can't do it. Automatically, there's research to show this, that your brain will stop and it will basically cut off whatever you were able to do. It will now shut down and not be able to do that because you've spoken those words that you can't do it. And so then you'll not be able to do it. Whereas if instead of saying, I can't do this, you say, I can do hard things. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. You're going to be able to do a lot more. And your brain, you're basically tricking your brain into being like, yeah, we can actually do this. So that's my encouragement to you. I'm going to do our push-ups. So at no point when you're having a tough time with these, don't ever vocalize the bad word. Always switch it to the positive. So let's get down onto the ground for push-ups. Oh man. That's what I always like when there's one particular lady on some videos that I've watched before, and she's like, we can do hard things. And just like just plays over in my mind whenever there's like a really challenging exercise. I'm really feeling it like I kind of just want to give up. I'm not sure if I can do this anymore. I'm just gonna have to rest for the rest of the time, which is fine. You can take breaks. I very much encourage you if that's the level you're at. But if you can push through, then endeavor to push through, because the real difference is made when it becomes difficult. So finally, we're going to do hammer curls, and then we're going to move into hack cool down. We love a good stretch. So we're going to move into that next. So hammer curls up next. Oh. So yeah, power up, slow down. Then I have to show you guys the resistance band options. and edit them in. Hopefully this time we're gonna edit it in enough time that you get the premiere feature to be able to do it live with other people. If not, just make sure to leave a comment. Tell me how you're finding it. Share your encouragement to other people. You know, it's good when you see that other people are going through similar situations. It helps you to, oh gosh, it helps you to push through even when it's really challenging. So we can push all this stuff to the side and we're gonna get cracking on our cool down. I'm gonna push that right over because we don't need it anymore. I'm gonna push the bench over also. Yeah. Okay, so let's start off on the floor. Let's sit down. I like to do a lot of cool down on the floor. So we're going to start off legs out, chest out and back, and we're going to have our arms facing outwards, and then we're going to just stretch it out. So you're going to stretch out your chest here and also your arms. So just make sure to really push into those palms of your hands, the heel of your hand, the palm of your hand, I don't know, the bottom bit. And really like push it away from your chest. And you're gonna feel a good stretch along that way. Oh, just keep it, hold it there for a little bit. And then we're gonna release it and move into our next movement. That's if I've decided what we're doing. Okay, we're gonna hug the tree. So with hugging the tree, you're gonna just sit up, you're gonna stretch forward. So it's like you're hugging a tree. So make sure to grab round as much as you can. I mean, you can imagine you're hugging a person, but you know, we're trying to keep it PG out here. So hugging a tree, help the help the climate, you know. Okay, let's release that. I'm gonna do side to side stretch. So some would call it a mermaid stretch. I know some Nigerians don't love that term. So we're going to just bring your arm down and then your other arm on top and over, and you're gonna feel that stretch all the way down here. We're gonna do that. Hold it. Oh, this is lovely. You can feel it releasing. And then we're going to switch to the other side. I think I realized that the timer that I set for 30 minutes is probably going to come off in a second. So I'm going to have to probably turn off that sound, otherwise it'll be quite disruptive. I don't know how much you can even hear those things with the mic anyways, but like the timer that I have set for my workout, because it's slightly different to what you get on the screen, because I have to do that one in editing afterwards. Oh man, the release is so good. Oh man, this is good. This is good stuff. So bring it back up to the center, and then we're just going to stand up, stretch it to the top, stretch it all the way up, round, bend over, dangle, and then we're going to bring it back up. Oh man, hold it right at the top, and then we're going to release, and that's going to be everything. Thank you everybody for joining. It's been wonderful working out with you. Make sure to get your little flex, get a nice selfie, show those progress photos. I always like to look at the old ones and then what I've got now, and so you get to really see the progress. See, the timer is gone. That means I will catch you next time. So on Saturday. God bless you all. Love you.